Okay, so this is a test that the microphone is picking up. Hello everyone in Internetville. This is Samuel. I am up past midnight, and I'm wired. Actually, I am wired. So I've had a little caffeine, and I was able to stay up and go to Walmart and pick up one of the new Mini Nintendo Entertainment Systems, the ones that just came out and were re-released. Basically little boxes that fit in the palm of your hand, and you can use to play old NES games, 30 of them, on your HDMI screens. And this is in the spirit of Christmas, so Merry Christmas. And of course, we have our tree up. So that means, of course, that we have to have a present. So let us now unbox the present, the Mini NES. All right, so this is the Mini NES, which is technically called the NES Classic Edition. Games included Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, Pac-Man, etc., etc. And it's a very tiny box. You can see the box art, and you can see some of the text on the box. Play classic NES games the way they were meant to be played on a full-sized original NES controller. Yeah, but I think I might take issue with that whole play them the way they were supposed to be played because, well, anyway, I'm not going to do that. This is a festive time, and this is a Christmas present. NES console. It's a retro blast from the past with the return of the all-time fan favorite Nintendo Entertainment System. Right, but you only get 30 games, so here's a sampling of the games on the back for your internet amusement. Look, that's a nice box. But we can put it aside for the moment. And look, here's an insert like they used to put with games in Nintendo systems, with instructions how to plug in a Nintendo system. You know, just in case you hadn't used a video game since 1985. Okay, wide shot. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You've got Rob the Robot. I wouldn't mind seeing a light gun game for this, but unfortunately that's not one of the games. And there is... yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, years ago they used to always have these pack-ins, and they would have these maps in Nintendo Power Magazine also. So two things that I really miss, actually having a physical box and getting physical posters and things like that that come with the product, and also having posters that come with a physical magazine. Of course, we know Nintendo Power Magazine bit the dust not too long ago, sadly. Warranty card, and My Nintendo. Hopefully I didn't show that on screen. I'll have to cut that out. All right, here is the device. Let's see. This is the controller. Look at this. That is an A button and a B button and a select and a start. And it looks a lot like I remember these controllers looking like. There's one of those twisty things. You know, some people would edit this part out of the video, but no, I think I'm going to leave it in. I once tried to cut one of these with a pocket knife. Not a good idea. Meanwhile, a trip to the ER later, and I was fine. Okay, look, this connection, you might recall this is from the Wii. So this and one of the Wii controllers that you would play Virtual Console games with would potentially work in the Mini NES. So, but notice one thing, this is very, very short. I'm just going to wrap it around my hand. Three wraps. Look at that. 3 wraps. That is very, very short. I'm not exactly sure what to say about that, but anyway, let's continue. Let's see what else is in the box. Let's see, cardboard. Oh look, that's nice. So, a power adapter, because this should be micro USB, I believe. A USB cord. I'm sure there are going to be people on the internet saying, you know, you really need to edit this video so you can get some of this stuff out. At which point I will say, no, I'm not going to do that. So here we go. That's where that connects. There's that side. Put that aside. And look, they had the trouble, but they took the trouble of doing it anyway, of including an HDMI cord. So you don't have to go out and spend money on getting a cord, because you've already got one in the box. Happy days. Actually, that was a TV show for those of you who were born here since Kurt Cobain died. And that's a lot of people, by the way. A lot of people are really, really young. Okay, there we go. HDMI. And now what we've all been waiting for. Drum roll, please. I said drum roll. Drum roll. Thank you. Here we go. Well, will you look at that? It fits in the palm of your hand almost. Can you believe that? Look, there's my hand, there's my palm. Now you'll notice again that the little lid doesn't open. It's not really functional. There's a reset button, a power button, and then two little slots where you can put your controller. On the back, there is the power in and HDMI out. Look at this little thing. This is micro. Okay, now just for the sake of argument, I'm going to show you how short this controller cord is. 3 feet for the new Mini NES controller. You can wrap that around 1, 2, 3, just about 3 times. Here is the old NES controller. Ah! Every year. Hang on. Oh. Sorry. Small studio. Okay, I think I got it. Here we go. Here we go. Yep. Okay, maybe there were a few disadvantages of having longer cords. I'll be the first to admit it. But still wireless or Bluetooth or some sort of technology would be nice, so you don't have to have only a 3-foot cord on your controller. Now one more. Here we go. This is hard work. The things we did back in the 80s and 90s. Wait, that didn't do it. Okay. Here's the old controller by comparison. There we go. Now, let's try that again. There we go. Okay. So, for comparison, again, how many loops? 1, 2, 3. That's the old one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, this thing is about 3 times the length of the new controller, if you can imagine it. So, what am I going to do? I'll tell you. I'm going to take the Wii remote, that is not the Wii remote, but the controller that plugged into the Wii remote, which, by the way, is about 4, well, that was the cord for the old one, which is about 4 feet. Still, 4 is better than 3. And you'll know that this fits in the slot. Well, let's see what it looks like. Ready, set, power. there you go. Gonna cycle through all the video games. Okay, so let's try one of these games, shall we? Here's a good one, Ghosts and Goblins. You select the game, and it starts. You gotta give me credit, I'm playing this with one hand. Alright, there we go. Hit the button to go back to the menu. Ah! Stop! Oof! Thing's falling back. Look! Look at this! Look at this! I want to sit back more than just a few feet away, and look. This is like, oh, look at the distance this thing is getting. It's like 6 feet, and that's it. Nintendo, you should have thought this out better. Cord, controller, video game system, TV. Whew. So, overall, what are my impressions on the Mini NES? I have to give them credit for innovation, but they failed a little bit in implementation. Number one, the cord for the controller is just way too short. Number two, the HDMI cord inserted was great, but they could have overcome the controller cord length with having a longer HDMI cord. I think one of the things they wanted you to do as a player is to be able to gain access to the device itself so you can control it with power and reset. But if you've got one of the old Wii controllers, then you really don't need that because you've got the ability to go to the menu on your controller. So would I advise people to buy this new Mini NES? Absolutely. The shortcomings are certainly well worth the valuable, insightful look into the past of gaming history. And for the young gamers, this will be something very refreshing against a lot of the shovelware that's been released in the past few years on newer systems. So buy it, enjoy it. If you can get a hold of one of these this holiday season, you'll thank me later. Thanks. Okay, so just for the sake of comparison, I'm going to compare the new Nintendo with the old Nintendo. So hang on a second, I have to move my Raspberry Pi. All right, let's move that over here. All right, here we go. So this is the old Nintendo Entertainment System, and this is the new Mini NES. Check that out. Isn't that a sight? It's like big brother, little brother. Big brother, meet little brother. How are you doing? I'm little. I'm big brother. And so forth. Anyway, in the palm of your hand, for real. Now you're playing with power.